Howdy folks, this is Kyle Graves. You can reach me at kylewgraves.com. We're continuing our series on 8 best practices for global IP portfolios, especially for hardware inventions. Now, this week you get something special, you get a do-over. I just did this whole piece and then realized that I was in my streaming platform, happily watching myself on the screen, and I was not live yet. So, let's get into it again. Point number 7 of 8 points. Now these are particularly relevant for hardware type inventions. Now consider an infringement situation. Very often you're developing your IP portfolio and you begin to see infringement happening out in the market. And this infringement may be happening in different jurisdictions, it may be complicated. It may be that infringement is happening by one actor across multiple jurisdictions. We just don't know. Because it's complicated, you always need competent counsel to advise you on the right way. Even so, in some of these instances, your infringer is actually your friend. And here's what I mean. Many high-tech inventions rely on network effects and the capture principles associated with natural monopolies. These are often software startups, and this is where a lot of the conventional wisdom for startups arises from. Now, as a hardware company, your needs may be different. As a result, there are in some instances less urgency to immediately attack and shut down potential infringers. And this is because you're not facing that natural monopoly capture effect, the network effect driven business, where the first one to market is the first one to grow, which is the first one to dominate. Instead, you have the situation as a hardware company where there may be multiple parallel device families coexisting. As such, you may have a little less urgency sometimes to shut down the potential infringers. This means 2 things. 1, if you have the luxury of slow playing the development of your global patent portfolio using the methods we mentioned previously, and if you have advice of competent counsel, then with appropriate risk management, it might be useful for you to silently monitor infringers rather than immediately attacking them. You're silently monitoring this infringer while they're investing in public-facing awareness efforts. They're educating the market about the product, about the problem the product solves, and they're expending their own money addressing any initial regulatory issues, which may particularly be an issue in emerging markets where the regulators are also unfamiliar with the product or the solution. Then, only after the infringer has expended a lot of their own money developing the market of, by analogy, cutting down the weeds in a field, grubbing out the trees, plowing it, cleaning out the rocks, getting it nice and ready for planting. And then you come in and plant. This can be very effective as you begin entry into a new market in some situations. So, not only do you need to think about possible enforcement, but you need to think about maybe this company will be a licensing partner. Maybe we don't enforce. Maybe we wait till later. Done correctly, your company has either saved a whole lot of money on local marketing efforts, or alternatively, your company has developed a licensing partner in a new jurisdiction. Now, I've used this before very effectively with device manufacturers who are expecting to enter a lot of markets globally. It's a device that many emerging markets aren't familiar with, may not even understand the problem. So your total addressable market is changing as public awareness of this problem grows. There's also a whole lot of regulatory issues around this product. So what my client did was they spotted an infringer in a jurisdiction, they made sure they had adequately protected their rights there, but instead of shutting the infringer down, they watched, listened, and they learned how the infringer was addressing that market as their product evolved. Now, their product was a superior product, and they really didn't have any concerns about market capture. So this was an okay strategy for them. And they saved a bit of money doing this. And when they chose to enter the market, they had a different set of considerations. Either they could enforce, they could license, or perhaps they could ally with this company that had already opened up the country to this type of product and be co-belligerents there together against others. There are a whole lot of options, and they didn't begin and end with, hey, we've got a patent, let's go see somebody. In some instances, it might be better to monitor infringers. Now, of course, in the prime markets where you expect to be the first mover, maybe the considerations are different. So, my point today is develop a more complex appreciation of the dynamics around patent infringement and your enforcement options, because in some instances, perhaps who you thought was initially an infringer is actually a friend that can help your business succeed. Okay, that's point 7 of 8. We've got one more to go. I'm looking forward to wrapping this series up because I have several ideas in the hopper that we're going to get into. In particular, I'd like to begin talking about common trademark issues and some common trademark scams that I'm seeing across social media that really catch a lot of startups and that have caught some of my clients before they came to me to clean things up. Then I'd also like to have a more holistic series. This one's already in the hopper, I just need to publish it, about as you're starting a company, especially a hardware company, there's a lot of things other than IP to think about. And being in the space for a while, I've collected quite a list of corporate, of other regulatory, of general business practices, and I think we should talk about those too. So that's it for today. Appreciate your listening. You can find me at kylewgraves.com. Reach out if you have a legal or some other kind of IP question, and let's see if we can help you.